Honestly, like all my friends here.
Great. Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining this session. Yeah, you already saw some great intro of how it is possibly to study in Milan, and it might be you next year. So who knows? And first of all, I'd like to explain you some interactive options that we have. My name is Luc Mulling, I'm the moderator. And as you already saw, we have a great panelists with us. Actually, 3 students from different engineering programs are with us. So take advantage because you can ask all your questions that you may have or doubts to them. You can do that by writing your questions at any time through the panel called questions. You find it at the right bottom next to the chat, and we will be answering these questions. Hopefully, we can at the end. And also, I see there are already people writing where they're logging in from at the chat, so that's great. Please, by all means, let us know. It's just great to see the variety of countries and people that are joining in. Also, I will be opening up polling questions. So I actually have a first question ready lined up to know which field of study you're interested in, just to make sure. And we want to, of course, provide the information you're looking for. Last but not least, we have a little fun button, so to say, the button called React at the bottom. And if you click on that, you can give your reaction of choice. Yes, those are the ones, because that makes it more fun and interactive, also for the presenters, just to see there's an actual audience, right, at the end, at the other side of it. So without further ado, let's go over to the presenters, and we're going to Milan, where we have Marina set up, and she will introduce herself and the other students. So good luck.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. As you said, I'm Marina Carbonchi. I have been working at Politecnico di Milano for 22 years, and I am currently in the Students Recruitment Office. I am very pleased today to have 3 students with us coming from 3 different countries with 3 different backgrounds and studying 3 different programs of engineering. Politecnico di Milano is a technical university. We offer programs of architecture, design, and engineering at all academic levels. But today, we want to focus primarily on engineering programs to help you build your future in engineering. My warm suggestion is to widen your horizon, to invest in yourself, to discover new possibilities for your future. It's because the first best option for your studies might not be just around the corner. You have a world of opportunities that you can consider. And what matters most is that you go out your comfort zone, because studying abroad will give you an edge afterwards throughout all your life for your career. Because when you go abroad and you get to know different cultures, you meet a lot of students, you are immersed in a different environment, you will learn so much, not only from the study program that you have chosen, but from the new environment you are immersed in. And facing new challenges will make you stronger, will make you more flexible, and ultimately will give you a better understanding of other cultures. And this will help you build stronger relations also during your work afterwards. Don't be afraid to explore new possibilities. Don't uh, don't be afraid of making um, your your plans wider than expected. And don't be concerned about investment, about financial issues, because you might discover that high quality education can be at reach also from an economic point of view. So I do not want to delay any further. I want to introduce you our current students. We I have really the pleasure of meeting today Vanessa. Vanessa comes from Peru, sh- and she's currently studying energy engineering at the campus in Piacenza. And then we have Sebastian. He comes from Mexico, but he actually took his bachelor's degree in Canada, and he moved to Italy to study computer science and engineering here in Milan, directly on the main Leonardo campus. And finally, we have Jan coming from the United States. He took his bachelor's in the New York State in mechanical engineering, and he moved to Italy to study mechanical engineering, but with a particular track in sports engineering on the Lecco campus. So, different campuses for different programs and different experiences, but one choice: Italy as your study destination at Politecnico di Milano. So I give the floor to the three students, and I thank you all, guys.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Vanessa. As Marina said, I'm currently pursuing a Master of Science in Energy Engineering at Politecnico di Milano, with a focus on renewables and sustainability at the Piacenza campus. There were several reasons why I chose Politecnico di Milano for my master's studies. First, we have its international reputations. As you may know, Polimi is ranked among the top engineering universities in Europe, known for its excellence in both research and innovation. And as someone passionate about energy and sustainability, I was looking for a university that will offer a strong academic foundation combined with practical experience, and Polimi is total for that. And another important factor was the opportunity to live here in Italy, since studying here in Italy means being surrounded by a rich culture, delicious food, and beautiful landscapes. Also, I really enjoy its international environment. I've had the chance to study and collaborate with people from all over the world, which has helped me grow both personally and professionally here. And finally, student life here is very dynamic and diverse. There are countless ways to get involved. We have a student association for all interests, sport activities, lab projects, trips, concerts, and university services that support you all of the way. As you can see so far, my experience here has been incredibly enriching. Um, um, you can see here, for example, in the top left photo, a graduation ceremony of some friends who just presented their thesis. It's such a proud and emotional moment, one that motivates us to keep pushing forward. And next, in the other photo, we can see the following run, which is a 10-kilometer race organized by the university. I participated once with my friends, and it's a great example of how Polimi community values not just academic growth, but also health and well-being. And in the top right photo, and also in the photo of the middle below, we can see some of my academic activities, like lab simulations and workshops where we analyze energy systems and test components like PV modules, for example. And finally, no experience in Italy will be complete without gelatos and pizza nights with friends. Passing to the other slide, here I present my experience in Piacenza overall, and other relevant experience in Europe. The campus in Piacenza is smaller and more intimate compared to the main one in Milano, which makes it easier to connect with professors and classmates. Beyond the classroom, living in Piacenza has opened up so many meaningful experiences. I've had the chance to take part in international student events, travel across Europe, and make friendships from all over the world. In these photos, we can see a trip to Rome with friends. Here in the top left photo, there is a trip of Rome. Here we were at the Castle San Angelo. Also, there is a trip to the region of Piedmont. We built a snowman, for example. Also, I traveled to Lucerne in Switzerland and to the Ligurian coast as well. And also, for example, I assisted to local wine festivals and even a day at the Tour de France activity, which actually started in Piacenza last year. Yeah, you can see also the aperitivos and some events and birthdays I celebrate with friends from all the countries. So overall, choosing Polimi has been one of my best decisions I've made, not only for my academic development, but also for my personal growth, since it has provided me with academic excellence and international exposure and a truly enriching life experience here in Piacenza and in Milano. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. It has been really inspiring. So let's move to our Mexican friend who is studying computer science here in Milan. So a different experience because Milan has got two main campuses. One is the Milano Leonardo campus that is directly in the city center, and that's the historical seat of Politecnico di Milano, and that's where Sebastian is studying. Then we have the Bovisa campus that is more on the outskirts of the city, and that's where we have the very large infrastructures, the very large labs. So, Sebastian, it's your turn.
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here. So I'll speak about a little bit about myself and then, about the program in computer science. So this is my experience at Politecnico. So as Marina said, I'm a student computer science at Milano. So I am actually in the main campus of Politecnico. So where most of the engineering programs happen. So yeah, I'm currently living in Milan. So I chose Politecnico. My choices align a lot with Vanessa. So it was the program for me was very a deal breaker because I was looking for a program that was very flexible and open And the good thing about the computer science program at Politecnico is that the first year you do your required courses, and then you are free to do any track that you feel like. And they have a lot of tracks that you can choose from. So I was looking for a program like this, and based on the reputation and the prestige that Politecnico has, as well as Vanessa said, the culture in Italy. That was my top choices for to choose the program here at Politecnico, and I'm almost at the end. So this has been my experience in the past 2 years already. So I came here when I was 2 years ago, so 2023, from Canada. So I did my bachelor's in Canada. So I don't know if we have Mexicans or Canadians in the presentation. But yeah, so it has been a great experience. So the culture here, and the people that I've met, especially coming from a Latin country, has been amazing. People here are very open. In general, in school, in my life in Milan in general. So it's been amazing to meet friends from different cultures and from different parts of Europe. Um, so yeah, for example, as Vanessa had, so I have also a picture of graduation parties here at Politecnico. So I'm graduating hopefully in October. So fingers crossed. And actually, it's been great because at the end, well, the Politecnico, especially in the computer science program, they give you a lot of career services. So for to find jobs at the end. So it's very well balanced in the sense that they have opportunities for you to pursue research or to pursue internships. So research is mostly done during your thesis at the end. So at the end of your program, you'll have to do a thesis, and you can choose whether to do a thesis on doing research or on the field. So doing an internship. Um, so actually, right now I'm in the office. So if you hear someone in the back, that's probably my colleagues. So I'm doing an internship at the end of my program. So the Politecnico gives a lot of services for students to find jobs while you're studying, or they are very flexible for you to do internships when you're studying or after. So you also have they give you services to prepare you for mock interviews, either in Italian or in English. They help you with your CV, cover letters. So that's a very well crafted service that we have access to. So that's great. So either if you're you're looking to do a PhD after your master's, or maybe go and work on the field, you have both opportunities after your program. So really, in that sense, the computer science program prepares you for that. So yeah, that was my experience. So I'm happy to answer any questions at the end if we have time. Well, yeah, that's the other relevant experiences. So my trips. The good thing about Italy is that you meet people from everywhere within Italy, and they have a little war between regions in which region is the most beautiful one. So everyone invites you to their houses, and they try to um, show you as much as you can, so that you can enjoy the region. So everyone invited me to their hometown. So it was great to see Italy as a local, because I was hanging out with locals. So yeah, this is the pictures of all my trips that I did while I was studying. So yeah, mostly the south. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you at the end if we have time.
Thank you so much, Sebastian. In fact, Italy is usually considered mainly a destination for holidays and trips. But today you might discover that besides studying, you can enjoy life and visit a lot of nice, beautiful places. And that it is possible to study in English while enjoying Italy. So we have an American here who just discovered the right destination for his studies. And welcome, Jan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and welcome everyone that came to the webinar. I study sports engineering at the Lecco campus, and just as sort of a broad overview, sports engineering is like mechanical and biomedical have been combined, and we look at like athletes and equipment and athlete performance, and we try to improve. It also focuses somewhat on rehabilitation, because a lot of the after an injury, you try and measure improvement over time. So a lot of the same devices and techniques are used. And here on my slides, we see some pictures from the labs. On the far left, you can see a prosthetic leg. And above is the prosthetic leg in a testing device where we compress the leg and we take force measurements. And that was a lab that we did, like a hands-on lab in the Lecco. And then in tandem with that, we tried to recreate from the data that we had, a finite element method model. This was for one of my classes, an FEM class, and we tried to work on optimizing the carbon fiber layers to reduce the weight for the athlete. And then actually this year, Martina Caroni, she's a Olympic athlete, came and she talked about her experiences and gave us some insight, some real user insight on how we can improve the prosthetic leg. So it was nice for that to come full circle. That's one of the things I do like about the sports engineering track, is we have a lot of sort of overlap between classes and a lot of lab time. So it's cool to see the physical products in use and take measurements on them. In the center top of the slide, you can see a foot sensor. This was for a different class where we measured, it's called gait analysis, but it's basically just how people walk, the stride. You can collect stride data, force data as their foot touches the ground. You can collect a whole bunch of data for this. And we set up the sensors using MATLAB, and we collected data on one of my classmates. And it actually turned out that we were able to notice an injury that he had many years past with the data we collected. So it was pretty cool to get like meaningful results on one of our classmates from this project. Then in the center bottom, there's a graph that's a bit too small to read, but I can explain what's happening. This is an avalanche forecasting model that my teammate and I created. And traditionally, avalanche forecasting is really complex to do because you need to go, let's say, every day and collect snowpack data. What we tried to do is create a forecasting model that was only based on the weather forecast. So we used machine learning and previous databases, and we created a bunch of Python code to sort of correlate the weather data to the historical data to try and find the trends. And in the end, our model was about 60%, maybe 70% accurate, which is actually very good because it's an incredibly challenging problem. Snow is a really complex thing to try and measure and understand. So we were really quite pleased with the results. And now moving to the right, we have some views from the Lecco campus. The top view is the mountain range that I often stare at out of the classroom window. It's called Resegone. And fun fact, Lecco is also where the Mona Lisa was painted, for those people who care about that, who care about art. I thought it was a pretty cool fact when I learned it. And then on the bottom right is a picture of a PolyMe welcome party that they had this fall. They had a DJ set and students come and they mingle. And it's maybe from, 6 p.m. to midnight. It's a pretty long event. They have a couple of these each year. And the student organization hosts this. So they have a pretty good presence on the campus too. And then personally, I maybe travel more than I should here because I like to see Europe. So I've been to Oktoberfest, which is shown on the left. I went with some of my classmates and we had a really good time there. And the left side, you can see me rock climbing. This is at Finale Liguria, which is in Italy. It's sort of on the sea of Italy, and it's a really cool place. There's really world-class rock climbing, mountain biking, hiking there. There's all sorts of activities to see within Italy. Top right, I went on a ski trip this spring to Les Arcs, which is a ski resort in France. And I met up with some international friends that I met there. And lastly is just a hiking picture in the Italian Alps. Yeah, that's okay for me.
Thank you. Thank you. Very inspiring. I just want to ask a couple of questions just to go a little bit more in depth. Vanessa, no doubt sustainable development is among the crucial challenges the world has to face. How is your program in energy engineering on the Piacenza campus helping you prepare to face the crucial aspects of sustainability?
Yeah, okay. First, as you may know, sustainability means meeting today needs without compromising the ability of future generation to meet theirs by balancing economic growth, environmental protection, and social well-being. The program of renewables and sustainability track within the Master of Energy Engineering is preparing me to contribute to this balance by equipping me with advanced technical and scientific tools to design, implement, and manage low-carbon energy systems. Well, the program focuses on 3 key pillars. First, we have the renewable energy technologies. We study and apply solar, wind, geothermal, hydropower, biomass, waste-to-energy, hydrogen systems, for example, as well as their integration into the existing grids. This enables us to reduce CO2 emissions and reduce the fossil fuel dependence. Okay, and the second pillar is the energy efficiency and optimization, because sustainability is not only about producing clean energy, but also about producing it and using it efficiently. So we learn to design and optimize energy systems using a mix of energy, or a mix of renewable and non-renewable energy sources, storage systems, and multiple energy vectors. The goal here is to minimize the energy waste, reduce greenhouse gases emissions, and ensure a sustainable use of resources. And the last pillar is the environmental impact and climate change mitigation. Since energy production comes with environmental costs, in this program, I've learned to assess and reduce these impacts using tools like life cycle analysis, CO2 capture technologies, air pollution control, and circular economy principles. So overall, this program is shaping me into an engineer capable of addressing sustainability's most pressing challenges, and is preparing me to lead that energy transition.
Thank you so much. It's really amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sebastian, I wanted to ask you, artificial intelligence is likely to be the most important technological revolution that will have soon a huge impact on society, and is already having an impact on society. And no doubt it offers huge opportunities, at the same time some ethical concerns as well. How are you preparing for this extraordinary challenge with your program in computer science and engineering?
Thank you for the question. So, as I said, the program in computer science is really flexible, as in you have a lot of tracks. One of the main tracks that the program offers is machine learning and AI, and it focuses on the theory and the practice of machine learning models. And one of the required courses that you have to take in that track is actually computer ethics. So we see it from a point of view of, the practical and the implementation of machine learning models and how it can affect, society from an ethical point of view. So, in that specific class, we see the impact that we can have in developing these models. So the program offers first like the intro, the basics, and the way it's implemented, but also the as I said, the ethical problems and the implications that it might have. I took, I was not in the machine learning track, but as I said, it's very flexible, so you can take that track. And I took some of the machine learning machine learning and AI classes and the computer ethics. And I was very surprised by let's say the take they have in the computer ethics, basically like with privacy, GDPR, and very specific implications that those models might have in society. So yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, AI is actually included in almost all the programs we are teaching, because even in architecture, for instance, it is used nowadays. So we have introduced at least a basic knowledge of machine learning in all the programs that we offer. Jan, I had foreseen a couple of questions for you. You have more or less already replied, but if you want to add a few more words concerning your hands-on experience in labs, and then about leisure activities. I mean, because besides studying, carrying out tests in labs and taking exams, it's also important to have a good work-life balance, to meet friends and visit. And so explain a bit more, and then it will be my turn and I will start my own presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I can hammer home these points. I think the labs are a really good application because they combine the practical knowledge and the theoretical knowledge. The two really need to be joined together for you to become a good engineer. A lot of the classes are very theory-based, which is great, but then you go to the lab and you discover all these new challenges that you weren't expecting, like the sensors aren't collecting correctly, the data is corrupted, there's a whole bunch of new issues that you find, and you have to try and solve these challenges. So for me, it's really good to bring the theory into practice with the labs. I would say probably 50% or more of my classes have a lab section. So that's really quite good. And I think the labs are also a time to sort of break out into smaller student groups and get to know the students better, because you work with the same group of 3-4 students for the whole semester on a project. And it's a really good way to build relationships like that. I mean, sometimes you stay up late working at the university to try and finish for a deadline, but afterwards you can go out and enjoy life again. As far as Lecco as a leisure location, it's on Lake Como, for those of you who don't have a map. And from either a ferry or a train, you can access a whole bunch of small, quaint Italian towns quite easily. Just from Lecco, you could go rock climbing, you could go cycling, you could just go hiking, you could go, I don't know, there's really a lot of sports you could do here in Lecco. I guess I'm mostly sport focused, but you could also take the train into Milan and experience Milan. It's just a 40-minute train away. So that's also quite appealing. Maybe on the weekends, you could go up to Bellagio. Bellagio is a very famous Italian town. And this could be quite nice to see. It has a very good flower gardens. I think they're quite famous to go and see those. There's totally lots of leisure activities to see. For example, this evening, I'm going out with some classmates for gelato in the evening once it cools down some. We're just going to have gelato and walk along the lakefront. It'll be good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem.
I must come more often to LEGO. So now it's my turn. I will make a brief introduction about Politecnico di Milano, our educational offer, and then, of course, you can ask all the questions and learn more in case we have not covered all your interests. So let's start your journey to Polimi. As I said before, we are a technical university offering architecture, design, and engineering at all academic levels. It's an historical university founded in 1863 to train the engineers who would then make a fundamental contribution to the economic development of the country. And this happens still today. The main objective of our university is to train excellent professionals, so to have an impact in this way on society, to carry out research, and in general to help the development of the country, of suburban areas, and so on. We are based in Milano. The main campus is here, and two main campuses, actually, as I told before. And Milan is the economic capital of Italy. So Rome is the historical and administrative capital, but as far as economy is concerned, Milan is no doubt the main city. It's a city with a huge cultural offer, and it's a mixture of many different cultures, many different people coming from the world to look for an occupation here. It's a very dynamic. We say that we never stop. So sometimes maybe the rhythm, it's always a bit, challenging to keep up, but we love our city and its welcoming attitude, it's open-minded, and it's a city devoted to innovation, and it's also perceived as the fashion and design district. Once a week, we have the fashion week, we have the design week with all the major designers coming from all over the world and here. So sometimes we are at the center of the world. We have other campuses in nearby towns, as you know. Vanessa is in Piacenza, so southeast of Milan. Here we have all the programs focusing on sustainability. We have Jan coming from Lecco, that's close to the Como lake. And here, besides mechanical engineering, we have interaction design at bachelor's level. We also have, for instance, civil engineering for risk mitigation, because we are here close to the mountains and close to the lake. Therefore, the territory can be fragile and needs the right location to study risk mitigation, for instance. Then we have Cremona, where we have computer science, and we have Mantova, that's a nice historical town where we have architecture focusing on the refurbishment of historical buildings. When choosing a university, you need to be sure the quality of education you get. And how do you get information? There are certain parameters that can help you understand that you are choosing the right place. Take a look at the rankings. Of course, there are various rankings available. Among the most important ones is the ranking worked out by QS. By the way, the new ranking will be published in a couple of days. According to QS, Politecnico di Milano is the first Italian university and also the first university in Southern Europe. So considering also other countries located in Southern Europe. It is the 6th best worldwide for design, 7th world best for architecture, and 21st best worldwide for engineering. Then, of course, according to the specific programs, you may have even a better position, such as, for instance, in mechanical engineering that Jan is taking. Another important aspect is that the university must have good partnerships for research, for exchanges, for to have visiting professors, and to offer also the opportunity to students to move and to go outside to other European universities for an exchange period, for instance. We have strong partnerships, such as within Idea League, with Enhance, with Alliance for Tech, with the leading technical universities in Europe. Enhance is actually a sort of European campus where you can experience and spend maybe 6 months at Polimi, 6 months at another 6 or 7 European technical universities, so you can make a really complete international experience. But these partnerships are also important afterwards when you search for a job, because if you come from a university that has a good international reputation, this will help you afterwards when looking for a job. And as I told you, research also is a guarantee for you of quality of education. Politecnico di Milano is the first university in Italy for fundraising for research. That means that we are able to attract funds both from private investors, companies that need to carry out and innovate and carry out their research at our university, or from the European Union. And here you see a few numbers, but try to see beyond these numbers. More than 430 research projects funded by the European Union Commission, 119 spin-offs. This means that our graduates, once they graduate, can find an occupation, but they can also become entrepreneurs themselves by using our startup accelerator and make their own company, by using the premises and the research labs of Politecnico di Milano. So this is a unique possibility. If you have good ideas, you're able to register a patent, and then you can be entrepreneur. And of course, if you want to understand the quality of education, I think that a good indicator is to search for the papers written by the professors who teach at that university. If you search online who has written the most important influential papers in your sector, you may find that some professors are just the right the right choice for you, because they are writing the papers that you are in the subjects that you are most interested in. Having a lot of funds for research means that we are able to offer an environment with high tech and with large infrastructures for research, such as we have the largest wind tunnel in Europe, which is crucial for research to test materials, to test prototypes of bridges, for instance. But we also have a polyfab, that is a vacuum chamber to create multi-layers materials, for instance, that are used in aerospace industry. We have materials testing. We have a driving simulator. If you're interested in architecture, we have the Labora, so that if you want to plan a building or you have an urban planning project, you can actually see how it looks like as if you were there and watching the city in that project. Or we have Polyfactory, that is for the projects of design. But then we have really more than 250 labs. So research is really one of the key pillars of this university. And which kind of environment can you find at Polimi? It's a large university. We have more than 48,000 students, and more than 8,000 are international students coming from more than 100 different countries. Therefore, you will find an inclusive community welcoming all possible different cultures. And so we really try to foster a fruitful relation between different cultures. I remember I had a student from Colombia telling me that he was carrying out a thesis with a boy from Germany, and how they helped each other in watching at the same data with a different perspective and different mentality, and how they were complementary, one enriching the other. So this inclusive community will help you feel at home and help you bring relationships that will last maybe all your life. But let us take a look at the available engineering programs at Master of Science level. As you can see here, these programs are all taught in English, and we have really a huge amount of different programs in all the different areas of engineering. In the computer science sector, for instance, we have computer science and engineering, high performance computing engineering, geoinformatics engineering, music and acoustic engineering. There is really, and then there are also joint degrees with other universities in case these are not enough. In the field of industrial engineering, there is really also a huge choice from automation and control engineering, mechanical engineering, food engineering, or if you want to concentrate in industrial safety and risk engineering, or electronics and electrical engineering. You can really find here environmental engineering as well. All possible solutions to to meet all your interests. It's useful to know that to be eligible, you need to have a background of engineering. Minor changes, of course, are possible, but if you remain quite close to your previous background, you have more opportunities of being admitted. It's also useful to know that you can apply to 2 different programs, so you will have more opportunities of being admitted. How to start your journey? If you want to start your programs, your studies at Politecnico di Milano in engineering as soon as possible, you can apply now till the 15th of July to start your studies in the second semester, to start your studies therefore in February 2026. If you want to start your studies later, you will be able to apply from October this autumn to start your studies in September next year. That will be in the first semester 26-27. The application is entirely online, so you need just to check the entry requirements, general entry requirements, if there is any minimum GPA from the country you have studied from, and that if you have the right background for the programs you want to study. But in general, it's just mandatory that you had studied at least 12 years at school and that you have a bachelor's degree of engineering or at least of physics or in case you want to study management engineering of economics. The application, as I told you, is entirely online. It's important that you check if you have all the mandatory documents that are, of course, the original transcripts of your university. You can apply even though you have not concluded your bachelor's degree yet. So in that case, instead of uploading the bachelor's degree, you will have to upload a letter of your university stating that you are about to graduate in a few months and that you are enrolled in your final bachelor year. So you have to select the two programs and to upload all the required documents. It's very important that you also upload, besides the transcripts, your CV, of course, but also the GPA statement. That is a letter of your university stating which is the graduate, the average scores that you had during your bachelor studies. This information might be included already in the transcripts. In that case, you need to upload the transcripts again. Otherwise, please provide this letter to avoid being rejected, because you are automatically rejected if you apply without having provided all the necessary documents. To conclude the application, you also need to pay an application fee. If you apply in October and November, there will be the early bird application fee of 50 euros. Otherwise, in the other periods, you will have to pay a higher fee of 150 euros. As I told you before, you will be probably surprised to know that this is not a cheap university. This is a university that is funded by the Italian government. And for this reason, we are able to offer quite affordable fees amounting to about 4,000 euros a year. Even if we are offering top quality education. Here you have an idea of how to plan your budget. In case you want to study a bachelor's level, in case there is some bachelor student here, and then at bachelor level, tuition fees are even lower because they are according to the family income. So they may be between 900 and 3,900 euros a year, just like European citizens. I don't know if there are any European citizens here. Otherwise, non-EU students pay usually the full amount, the full fee of 3,900 euros a year for 2 years. All our Master of Science programs last 2 years. However, we also have many scholarship opportunities. After submitting your online application, you will see on the website that there are certain calls for merit-based scholarships offered by our university. You will have to apply to these once you have already completed your application to the university. There are also additional scholarships offered by the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation. And these are open to really a wide number of countries. And these are available usually, published usually in spring. And there are also the so-called Investor Talent in Italy scholarships offered by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. For some countries, you should look in the website, but for instance, for Colombia, Brazil, Mexico, and many other different countries, there is this unique opportunity of having a scholarship covering also in part your accommodation and providing the opportunity of learning Italian and of working at an Italian company. So it's really a great opportunity. And we also have some help for students who have a weak financial background. And then we also have the opportunity, offer the opportunity of working for us for up to 200 hours a year. This is an excellent way to study and to help maintain your studies at the same time. We have a lot of welcoming events, a lot of events free of charge for our students on campus with students association, students competitions, um, a lot of concerts of events free of charge available on our campus, and also language courses. As regards the language, you don't need to worry about Italian. We offer Italian courses, and we hope that you will acquire some knowledge of Italian before graduating, because this will help you take the most out of your experience here in Italy. And in case you want to work here, of course, this will be very useful. But on campus, you can pretty well survive with English only. So here we offer Italian courses free, and and Italian is not mandatory. You can come and arrive here without knowing the language and learn it afterwards. Apologies, I wanted to mention again that we have a very good career service, as our students already pointed out. We organize job fairs directly on campus. Politecnico has a great reputation among employers. So employers ask our career service for the names of the graduates and want to meet our students directly on campus. And the career service organizes job interviews, but also helps you prepare your curriculum. And it's really a great help to have a smooth start and transition into the job market. Just consider that 91% of our graduates find a job within 6 months after graduation, and about 50% of international students fall in love with the country and feel so welcome that they want to stay here and find an occupation and continue to live in Italy. So, if you're curious to learn more about individual programs and to listen to the experience of current students, you can ask more questions about individual programs by using the service Ask a Student. So, after this webinar, we will be in contact per email, and we will be available to reply to any questions that we have not been able to reply today. But definitely take a look at our website, contact our current students, and book online meetings with them, so that you can better understand in details the different tracks we have for each program. And in case you're interested in considering a PhD, we have some Ask a Student PhD students available. At PhD level, we have 20 programs taught in English. There are no tuition fees, and almost all candidates do get a scholarship. If you are interested in PhD, there are throughout the years several calls for scholarships, and one call is open just now, and you can apply till the 9th of July to start your PhD in September. But I think it's now time to ask to your questions. I thank you for your patience, and now feel free to ask to learn more.
Yes, indeed, and that's where I come back in. So we already received some questions from the audience, so we'll go over that. And yeah, if you are watching the recording, I wanted to add, you can still also write your questions. We cannot answer them, of course, live, but we can send them through to the staff of Politecnico di Milano. All right, let's get going with the first question of Julie. Is indicating I'm interested to pursue a second degree in mechanical engineering. Is that possible?
Sure, Julie, you have to apply just like the other students do. So in case you want to start your studies in February, you can apply now till the 15th of July. You can apply to mechanical engineering. Then, of course, if you already have an engineering background and certain subjects might have been already covered by your previous degree, when carrying out preparing your study program, you can ask for an acknowledgement of your previous credits with a shortening of your career. So this is possible. In case you want to know already, to have at least an idea of how many credits can be acknowledged, I suggest to ask while applying for an informal opinion, so that you may at least have a vague idea of how many credits and which exams can be acknowledged, so that before you decide whether you want to come here and before enrolling, more or less you already know how it will be. But the final decision will be made when preparing your study plan. And that's where you will know for sure how many credits you will have to cover and which exams will be acknowledged.
Great. Thank you. I hope that answering the question from Julie. So next question from Ciro. I don't know if there's the question, but I want to know if I can continue with my studies there. I know some Italian and I have very good communication in English. I'm not sure there's a question, but otherwise let us know. Well, I guess he could, if he has the right background, he could continue. I guess that's the...
Exactly. We are a very welcoming university. As I mentioned before, we are really pleased and happy to have different cultures here. So everybody can feel welcomed here, but it is mandatory to have the right background. So it's also important that you check your requirements before you apply to avoid disappointment. And also consider that we receive really thousands of applications from all over the world. So even sometimes, even if we would love to welcome everybody, this is really impossible. And the selection might be quite competitive if we receive thousands of applications. And we have a limited amount of places available. But it is worthwhile trying, because I mean, at least you have not given up in advance a possible opportunity of improving your life, of getting high quality education. But please check first the country specific requirements, if there is any minimum required GPA from the country, not where the country where you are native, but where you have studied. Because as I mentioned, we welcome everybody, any country, any culture, but there might be a country specific requirements regarding the study country, because we know that it's to avoid that you come here and then you have difficulties. So we have set for certain country a minimum GPA. So check your requirements before applying. And in case you have doubts, just send a message to us and we will please to reply per email.
Great, thank you. All right, next question from Pato is asking, how much does it cost? So I think you covered that. But maybe to add the next question from Ciro, you can maybe combine that. If he's from Argentina but has an Italian passport, and can I apply for EU fees?
Yes, of course, if you have an Italian passport, you can have European fees. That is, fees will be according to the family income. But this means that you will have to provide information on the financial situation of your family so that our offices can calculate the right fee for you. Let me also explain that we have students studying here also from developing countries, also with a weak financial background, because it is possible to have to ask for a scholarship, financial based. So also in that case, you have to be admitted, of course, and you have to provide information on the financial situation of your family. And then it's mandatory then that you pass exams to confirm the scholarship, just to make sure that we help you fulfill your dreams of studying at Polimi. But we require, of course, engagement on your part, and that's it. So this is just to let you understand that you really don't have to stop to give up studying because of financial issues, because we are an inclusive university and we want to improve society, just also from the viewpoint of social equity. So, to give the opportunity of uh, people coming from a disadvantaged background to fulfill their dreams, if they are strong and talented students who want to commit themselves to reach their targets, we want to give them an opportunity. So take a look at our website and also search for other scholarships opportunity, and for the opportunity also of working for us for up to 200 hours. This is a great opportunity because this is completely compatible with lessons. It's a part-time occupation where you help us in many ways, for instance, at the open day, for instance, or in other activities, activities, and this helps you maintain yourself. So there are a lot of options, and I hope you will find the right solution for you. I can't hear you, Luke.
Oh, yes, I was muted. So I was just mentioning the question from Juan. How long are the master programs usually?
All our Master of Science programs last 2 years. And you can start engineering programs in the second semester, as I mentioned. If you apply now till the 15th of July, you will start your studies in February next year, which means that you will, first of all, cover the lessons of the second semester of the first year. Then, when the autumn comes, you will follow the lessons of the first semester of the first year. So basically, there will be an exchange in the sequence of lessons, but it will be possible to start the engineering programs in February. But the total length is still 2 years. Usually in the second year, as already mentioned by the students, you have to carry out your thesis. And this thesis can be, at our labs. But as I mentioned before, we have a lot of private research partners. So, for instance, just to understand the slide I mentioned before with numbers of patents, of papers, and so on, the first 10 years I worked at Polimi at the Department of Chemistry. I was administrative staff of a large lab of catalysis. And they had developed a patent that was then used by Mercedes on their trucks. And Mercedes started heavily to carry out their research at our university. So we had a lot of students carrying out their thesis directly in Germany at Mercedes because of these strong research partnerships. Just to let you understand that when we are talking about research and about engineering, it is really true that it makes a difference whether you study at a university that is strongly engaged in research. This is a guarantee of quality of education and a guarantee of opportunities that you have, both for your thesis, both to learn how to carry out a research activity, and afterwards in terms of employability, because you will be highly employable both in Italy and abroad.
Great. I see the thumbs up, so that's great. Good to see. Thank you. Next question from Javier. What requirements must we meet if we want to have a scholarship? So you did mention something about that. Can you maybe quick summarize that before we run into too much time?
Just merit-based scholarships offered by our university. As I told you, first you need to apply to the university, but this actually is only for the first semester intake. So if you want to start your studies in the second semester intake next February, unfortunately, the scholarship have been already awarded. So this will be, if you wish to start your studies in September next year, and if you will apply from October, then you will be able to apply to the merit-based scholarships at our university. And the most important aspect actually is that you have good marks during your bachelor studies. That is really fundamental. And also that you have, of course, a background that is in line with what you want to study. As I explained before, minor changes are possible. But I mean, if you have studied mechanical engineering, you cannot shift to civil engineering. This is pretty obvious. More or less, you need to have the adequate background. So remain in industrial engineering in case you have studied industrial engineering. Then you can choose maybe food engineering or whatever, or automation, but you cannot make a complete change. Otherwise, you will lack the fundamentals and you will not be admitted. And always apply to 2 programs to have more opportunities, because of course, we receive really a huge amount of applications and the selection is tough. So sometimes we have to say no, unfortunately, also to good students. But maybe you cover and there are no places available in one program, but there are in other program. So if you apply to 2 programs, you have definitely better chances, and try to avoid last minute applications because if you start your application at the beginning, of course, it's better. It's better.
Great.
However,
Thank you.
I must say that just to be transparent, 100% transparent, over the last year, I see that very often the professors tend to wait till the end of the call to compare all the applicants. In some cases, they give an immediate feedback regarding the acceptance. In other cases, they wait till the end of the call to compare all the applicants. And in that case, the reply might came later. Okay, but do not despair. We're considering you.
Great. Okay, thank you very much. And the question from Ariel, when again is the deadline?
So to start your master's in engineering, you can apply now till the 15th of July. watch the time in Italy. So if you're based in America, um, don't apply in the last day because then it will be over because uh, maybe it's still the 15th of July in your country, but it is no longer in Italy. So avoid last minute applications. So that will be now to start your studies in February next year. But as I mentioned, no merit-based scholarships are available now because these have already been awarded. Otherwise, if you wish to start your studies in September next year, that is in the first semester, you will be able to apply from October till the end of November. That will be the early bird period with an application fee of 50 euros. Then there will be another call for engineering students that will be most probably from the 10th of January till the end of February. Still to start your studies in September next year, but this will be the second call. So in that case, uh, the results will come out later. And meanwhile, of course, some places will have been covered by applicants of the first call.
Okay, thank you. And the last question for today, Saras is asking, well, it's already saying thank you for the presentation. How long does it take to receive a response of the application?
This is really different from one program to the other. In some cases, so first of all, let me explain better how we carry out the evaluation. We have, of course, the International Admissions Office dedicated to evaluating international applicants. They have in-depth expertise for individual countries, so they know the universities, the value of each university. So you don't need to worry. I am studying at a very good university where they give only low marks, so I cannot get in. Don't worry, because our admissions office knows the universities and knows the different systems. And to this aim, we also ask for the GPS statement, because in this way, we can better evaluate at which level your studies are compared to the grading system that you have at your university. And there are a number of parameters, of course, also if your university is a ranked university, if they have cooperation program for exchanges with our university, for instance, there are a number of parameters that come into evaluation. But of course, what matters more is that you apply to a program that is compatible, is in line with what you have done before, and that you have at least good marks or average marks in your bachelor's degree. You will be evaluated. So first of all, with the admission office, they check that you have a valid, acknowledged that you have studied at an acknowledged university, and then once they give the thumbs up, the professors of the programs that you apply to will consider your application. And the professors, work in a different way. Some of them give a feedback quite soon. Many others wait till the end of the call to compare the applicants, because when you have a lot of applicants, all motivated and talented, sometimes you have only a limited number of places available. We need to offer the opportunity to the best students, but sometimes we are really very sorry. We wish we could welcome more, but take your chance, do apply, and then clear any possible doubts. When you have submitted your application, you can keep in touch directly with the admissions office by using the read send a message tool inside the application system, so you can clear any possible doubts you may have.
Okay. Great. I think that hopefully gave you the answer that you were looking for. So with that, I don't see any further questions, so we can round off the session. I think a lot of information has been given today. So do by all means check out the application link. You can find it under links at the bottom. So under apps, and there you see the link where you can also apply. I will actually put it on the screen as I did before. So there you go. So then you can click on that and have a look at the requirements further. And with having said that, thanks everyone for having joined. I also would like to especially thank Ian, Vanessa, and Sebastian. Thanks a lot for your time and yeah, for your detailed explanations. I'm sure that was very useful for the potential students that might come to Milan next year, or to any of the other campuses, of course, that you are. So great to see. And maybe a last word over to Marina before we close off the session.
Thank you, everybody. We look forward to be in touch with you, and we look forward to meeting you. Visit our campus. It's possible to book a campus tour with our students. Ask a student, so book online meetings with other students. We'll be in touch per email in the next few days. So keep an eye at your email and ask more questions in case you need your support. I wish you really all the best for your future and start your journey to a brilliant future. Bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.